Imagine waking up in a world where the external circumstances of your life no longer dictate your internal reality. This might seem impossible because we're conditioned to believe what we see, hear, and experience in the physical world is immutable truth. Yet, this belief is the very limitation that keeps us trapped in cycles of struggle, frustration, and longing. Neville Goddard, one of the most influential spiritual teachers of the 20th century, offers a revolutionary perspective. Circumstances do not matter. What you see in your external world, the so-called 3D reality, is nothing but a projection, a reflection of the inner world you've cultivated through your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. The law of assumption underpins this understanding. According to Goddard, the 3D reality is like a mirror, passively reflecting the assumptions you hold in your consciousness. These assumptions are not merely casual thoughts, but deep-seated beliefs embedded in your subconscious mind. If you assume yourself to be lacking, struggling, or unworthy, the mirror of 3D will faithfully reflect these conditions back to you. But if you assume yourself to be fulfilled, prosperous, and deserving, no matter what your current circumstances might say, the mirror must shift to align with this new inner truth. To fully grasp this, we must venture beyond the confines of 3D reality and explore the concept of 4D reality, your imagination, the true creative power. Goddard taught that the 4D realm is where all things originate. It is the fertile ground in which every desire is planted and nurtured. In the 4D, time is irrelevant and the laws of physical limitation do not apply. This is where you embody the state of having even before it materializes in the 3D. The critical shift comes from realizing that your current 3D circumstances are the result of past assumptions. If you've been focusing on lack, fear, or doubt, the 3D is simply a manifestation of those vibrations. But here's the key. Just because the 3D reflects the old story doesn't mean it's set in stone. In fact, the moment you change your assumption in the 4D and persist in this new feeling, the 3D must conform. It cannot resist because it is not an independent force. It is entirely subservient to your inner world. When people hear that circumstances don't matter, their logical mind often protests. How can I ignore my bank account, my broken relationships, or my unfulfilled dreams? This is where the teachings of feeling as if you already have your desire become crucial. Goddard emphasized the importance of living in the end. This means adopting the state of consciousness you would naturally inhabit if your desire were already fulfilled. It's not about pretending or acting in the 3D. It's about feeling the truth of your wish fulfilled so vividly in your 4D that it becomes your dominant reality. Think about it. Every moment you spend dwelling on what you lack is a moment spent reinforcing the old story. But when you shift your attention inward and feel the joy, peace, or satisfaction of already having your desire, you begin to rewrite the narrative. The subconscious mind, which governs the 3D projection, doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined event and a real one. It only responds to the feeling you impress upon it. Let's consider an example. Suppose you're longing for financial freedom, but your 3D reality is filled with bills, debt, and financial stress. If you allow these circumstances to dominate your focus, you perpetuate them. However, if you close your eyes and immerse yourself in the feeling of already being financially free, visualizing the experiences, sensations, and emotions associated with that state, you activate a new assumption. Persist in this state and the 3D will begin to align. The shift might be subtle at first, a chance encounter, an inspired idea, or a sudden opportunity. But these are the seeds of your new reality taking root. The mistake many make is judging the 3D too soon, declaring it's not working. This is like planting a seed and digging it up every day to check if it's growing. Faith and persistence are non-negotiable. Goddard often illustrated this with the story of Joseph in the Bible. Joseph's coat of many colors symbolizes imagination, the faculty that allows us to assume any state of being. Despite being sold into slavery and imprisoned, circumstances that most would deem dire, Joseph maintained his vision of rulership. His unwavering assumption eventually led to his rise as a ruler in Egypt. This story isn't just a moral lesson, it's a blueprint for how manifestation works. The outer conditions, no matter how bleak, are powerless against a dominant inner assumption. The 3D can only reflect what you persistently hold in the 4D. Understanding this truth liberates you from the tyranny of the external world. It empowers you to stop reacting to appearances and start creating deliberately. When you realize that circumstances are malleable, you no longer feel the need to fight, resist, or control them. Instead, you turn inward, knowing that the real work lies in cultivating the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Some might argue this is escapism, but it's the opposite. It's mastery. By aligning yourself with the state of having, you transcend the illusion of lack and step into the role of conscious creator. Your feelings are the bridge between the 4D and 3D. This is why Goddard placed so much emphasis on feeling. It's not enough to think about your desire or visualize it as a detached observer. You must feel it as real, as present, as part of your being. When you achieve this, the subconscious mind is impressed with a new assumption, and the 3D has no choice but to obey. Doubt, fear, and impatience are natural, but they are also remnants of the old story. Recognize them for what they are. Echoes of past beliefs. Instead of engaging with them, return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Make this your dwelling place, and soon you'll find that the 3D begins to reshape itself in miraculous ways. Circumstances do not matter because they are temporary reflections of your inner state. They have no inherent power or permanence. The only true power lies in your ability to assume a new state of being and persist in it until it externalizes. In the end, the question is not whether you can manifest your desire, but whether you're willing to take responsibility for your inner world. The 3D will continue to reflect the beliefs you hold, whether consciously or unconsciously. Why not choose beliefs that serve your highest vision? Neville Goddard's teachings are a reminder that you are not a victim of circumstances. You are the author of your reality, and the pen is always in your hand. Write the story you wish to live, feel it as already true, and trust that the 3D will catch up. This is the essence of manifestation, the secret to transforming your life, and the profound truth that circumstances indeed do not matter.